Hey guys, how's it going today? Today we're going to do a video on this 2019 Ram as a 5.7 HEMI. We're going to be installing a oil filter relocation kit. This is my brother's truck. He's owned it about a year, I think, but I've never had a Ram, but it sounds like they're kind of a pain in the neck to change oil on. So there's a kit you can install to make that quite a bit easier to get the oil filter in a better location. So we are going to get that installed here. Okay guys, so this kit is a Pacbrake HP 10596 remote oil filter kit. This is for the Ram 2019 or newer DT. It's for the HEMI 5.7 liter. So this is what's in the kit here. We've got this head here. I think this takes the place of the old filter. This would be where the filter will screw onto for the new location. And then couple hoses, got some fittings, bracket here, which this will mount to, a couple O-rings. So obviously you're going to need some new oil and oil filter, because we'll be doing an oil change as well. So this kit, HP 10596, is actually a new kit. They just came out with a couple months ago. It replaces HP 10363. The only difference is these O-rings are made out of a different material. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take two of these 90-degree fittings, and we're going to instructions say to lightly oil these O-rings. One of them is going to go in right here. The other one is going to go right here. Okay, so for this fitting, we're going to want it facing out, just like this. And this nut right here, we're going to use a crow's foot and torque it to 37 foot-pounds. We're also going to torque this one to 37 foot-pounds, but we're not going to worry about the orientation of it just yet. So we got torque wrench set to 37 here, and we're going to put our crow's foot at 90 degrees down. There you go.
Or do you want to have it on its side?
This is fine. This would be way easier. Alright, I'm gonna go. I'm probably better like that.
Good deal. Alright, step one.
This nut takes a 1.25 inch wrench. Okay, so the next step is we're going to take this new filter head here, and we're going to oil up the O-rings on. So we have these two 90-degree fittings left. So this tall one is going to go on the in port, and the other one's going to go on the outlet here. For now, we're just going to put some oil on the O-ring and just fit it in loosely. We're not going to torque it yet. Alright, so for now, this is what it's going to look like. And I believe the next step, we're going to put the truck up on the lift and drain the oil. So filters clear up in here, above this power steering unit. You can kind of see it up in there as well. So that's what we're going to be relocating, is the position of the oil filter. So we're going to go ahead and get the oil drained here. This is the plug here, right?
Yeah.
For the pan. So we're going to drain this first, and then we'll get that oil filter off.
This just screws off. Oh, natural. There we go.
Okay, so we've got the oil draining through that small hose there out of the pan. So now we are going to, while it's draining, we're going to work on this oil filter here. I mean, you can see it's a pain in the neck to get to. So we've got a, can't hardly see it here, but it's this white thing is an oil udder we're going to put around it. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a punch and just knock a little hole in the bottom of this filter, and then we're going to take this udder and fit it up over that so it catches the oil and doesn't get all over everything. If I can, I'm going to just on the side here, you think?
Just as low as you can get it. You through?
Yeah. Go back down. I might try to go a little bit bigger because
That's barely dripping out.
Can you go a little more?
Isn't that good?
Right there. There we go. Ready?
There it comes. So that thing's supposed to magnet up on there.
Oh, there you go. Works okay, but I wouldn't want to do it every time.
Right.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put this new head unit onto this bracket, and we're going to make sure this bend is kind of facing away from us, so it's the right orientation. To do that, there's three
It's got the
5/16 bolts and lock nuts here.
That's the way they show it.
Might as well do it how they say to do it.
So the next step we're going to do here is go ahead and put our hoses on this fitting right here, and then also one on this fitting right here. Those get torqued to 37 as well, so we're going to go ahead and do that before we try to get this whole apparatus put in there. Okay, so we got to thinking about this here, and this is what tightens up to the old filter head, and this is out of order. We need to take this hose back off, because once you put this up there, you have to turn this fitting here, and this hose is going to be preventing us from being able to do that. So we're going to take this hose back off. And we do have this hose on, and that should be fine, because this piece is not going to turn. It's this piece is what's going to be turning. So this is how that works. We're going to put a gasket, an O-ring right here, and that's going to fit up through there. And then these threads here is where it screws onto the old filter head. So this down here is going to have to turn when we tighten that up. Alright, so we got the oil filter off here. So we should be ready to, we're going to do a little cleanup. Clean up some of the oil that spilled, and then we'll be ready to start putting that new piece on there.
That's where that goes.
Okay.
There we go. Do you have access to that?
Yeah.
You want to start it?
Alright guys, we had some issues with this O-ring staying in place when we put it up on the old filter head, and so we put a little grease in that cavity just to try to help this O-ring stay in place. I think it should help it, but we'd get it up there and try to screw this piece on to that old filter head, and any movement, this gasket would just pop right out of there. So we're going to try this out. Alright, so we got this remote head housing finally put up there. The grease seemed to help quite a bit keeping the O-ring in there. So it is a bit of a chore to get that in there and then get this fitting actually started. But we've got it tight now. Our bottom fitting, hose fitting, is pointing the wrong direction, so we're going to have to correct that. But we're going to go ahead and put the new remote head housing in. It goes on this bracket right here. We're going to get that just kind of the bolts finger tight, just so we can make sure our hoses are exactly where we want them. Okay, so we have we got that bottom fitting turned around, and we got it tightened back up, and we have both of the hoses up here. So the center of the head housing, that hose goes to the center of the remote head over here, and then the outside on this one goes to the outside on the remote head here. So we've got everything tightened up here. We could not use the crow's foot and torque wrench back in there just wasn't room. So snugged those all up just by feel with a wrench. Now we have these left, we're going to try to do it with the torque wrench here. But these are take a 7/8 wrench, so we're going to get those tightened up.
Good. And then
Still got to snug the, yeah. All right, I think we've got everything mounted up here. All of these fittings are snugged up. Got the hoses snugged up. These two bolts here that mount this bracket, they're 1/2-inch bolts. They take a 3/4 inch wrench or socket. One thing we're a little bit unsure of is these other lines here. I'm not sure if they are like transmission oil lines or transmission fluid lines, maybe going up to the radiator. But anyway, they kind of rest on it, so we might try to zip tie those things down or something. But other than that, we should be ready to get the oil filter. We're going to fill it up with oil first, I believe, and should be ready to fill this thing up with oil and start it up and make sure we don't have any leaks.
I don't know if there's benefit to it or not, but well, this is definitely in an easier spot to access. That's for sure.
Yeah, you get 2 hands on it.
That's probably good.
Yeah, it's probably tight enough right there. All right, we've got this thing filled up with oil here, so don't see any leaks yet. We're going to go ahead and just remote start it while it's up on the lift so we can watch it. Ready? Yeah, go ahead. I think it's fine. So far, so good. Alright guys, so we got it all completed. Took us a little longer than we were expecting, but it's done and it seems to be working well. No leaks or anything. So definitely, yeah, not the easiest thing to install, but it should make oil changes on this very easy moving forward. So we'll see how it goes, but I think it should go pretty well. Thanks for watching.